Hey guys, so we are going to be doing systems of equations again. Last class we did substitution. Today we're going to be working on elimination, and next class we will also be doing elimination. So this is kind of part one. So the elimination method is pretty much a method, obviously a method, for solving systems of equations. For solving systems of equations by adding or subtracting to eliminate a variable. Okay, so just like substitution, how we were pretty much subbing in some type of equation into another, that elimination is exactly how it sounds. We will be eliminating a variable and then going back and solving for it. Okay, so step one is to make sure that the equations are lined up, meaning that y is over y, x is over x, numbers are over numbers. Okay, I will always kind of do something like an x plus y equal a number, or y plus x, something like that. I always put my x and y on the left side, okay? It doesn't have to be done that way. I just am consistent with that, okay? Step two is to add or subtract the equations to eliminate. Add or subtract the equations to eliminate the variable with common coefficients. Okay, remember coefficients are those numbers in front of the variables. Step three is to solve for your remaining variable. And then you're going to substitute that answer you get when you solve back into one of the original equations. Okay, it has to be one of the original. It can't be something that you got later on. It has to be one of the first two, and then you're going to solve for the other variable. Okay, again, I know that the steps are a lot to look at, so the problems, once we get working on them, they will start to make more sense. So my first one says y equal 3x plus 4 and y equal x minus 2. Okay, so you guys can see that I have my y's lined up, my x's lined up, and my 4's lined up, meaning that they're on top of each other. I just prefer to have my x's and y on the left side, so I'm going to subtract my 3x from the top one, giving me a y equal, a y minus 3x equal 4. And I'm going to subtract the x on the second one, giving me a y minus x equal negative 2. Okay, this is just the way I prefer to work the problems. Okay, so now you guys need to choose a variable to eliminate. Okay, I need to either eliminate y or I need to eliminate x. I'm going to choose which one is easier to eliminate. Okay, so if I go to eliminate my y, I see that I have a positive y up top. So to eliminate it, I just need a negative y on the bottom. If I chose to do the x, I have a negative 3 up top. So I would need a positive 3 on the bottom. Okay? I think the y is going to be easier. So I need to make my y on the bottom, I need to make this y right here negative, so that I have a positive and a negative 1. So the way to do that is I'm going to distribute a negative 1 to each of these terms. Okay? So you guys should now have y minus 3x. Y minus 3x equal 4, and negative y plus x equal positive 2. Okay. now we just add them. So y minus y cancels, which is what we wanted. Negative 3x plus x gives me a 2x, negative 2x equals 6. Solve for x, divide by negative 2, and I get x equal negative 3. Okay? And now I need to solve for my y, because you need an x and you need a y. So I need to choose one of my equations from over here. You have to choose one of your originals. I think the second one is going to be easier to work with, but it honestly does not matter which one you choose. Okay? So y equals x minus 2. I'm going to plug in that x, so I get y equal negative 3 minus 2. Negative 3 is right there. So y equal negative 5. Okay. So your final answer again needs to be written as an ordered pair. Remember, ordered pairs are x, comma, y. So my x is negative 3 and my y is negative 5. And that is your final answer, okay? If you guys wanted to check your work, you could take this negative 3 and your negative 5 and plug it back into both of these equations, and they should give you the same thing, okay? That's how you know that you've done it correctly. Okay, so problem 2. I have my x's and y's both on the left, so I don't need to move anything. And I have my x, y's, and numbers on top of each other. So I'm good there. So now I just need to choose which one to eliminate. I have an x and an x, and a 4y and a negative 1y. I think the x is going to be easier to eliminate because you already have both of the coefficients the same. If you see here, I have a 1 and a 1. So all I need to do is change the sign on one of them. Okay? So I'm going to make my bottom one negative. So I'm going to keep the top the same. So x plus 4y equals 13. And remember, the way I made this bottom one negative is I multiply everything by negative 1. So this is going to give me a negative x plus y, because a negative and negative make a positive, equal negative 3. And now we add them. X minus x cancel, which they should. 4y plus y gives me a 5y. And then 13 minus 3 equals 10. Divide by 5. And I get that y equals 2. Okay, I need to solve for x. So I'm going to plug it back into one of the originals. Okay, so I'm going to choose this bottom one. I think it's going to be easier. Again, it doesn't matter. So x minus y equal 3. I'm going to plug in y, so I get x minus 2 equal 3. This 2 is from that y. Add 2 over x equals 5. So my final answer, x comma y, so 5 comma 2. Okay. So for 3, I have 3x minus 10y equals 14, and then 3x minus 9y equals 15. So I have my x's on top of x's, y's on top of y's, and numbers on top of numbers. So now I just need to choose one of them to eliminate, okay? Well, I think x is going to be easier to eliminate since both of those have the same coefficient, so I just need to make one of them negative. It doesn't matter which one. I'm going to make the bottom one negative. So my top one will stay the same. So I will have a 3x minus 10y equal 14. And then on the bottom, I'll now have a negative 3x plus 9y equal negative 15. And now just add them. So my 3x and negative 3x should cancel. Negative 10y plus 9y is negative y. And then 14 plus negative 15 is a negative 1. Divide by negative 1 and y equals 1. Okay. Again, now we need to solve for x. So I need to pick one of my equations on my original to use. I will use the top one this time. Again, it does not matter. So we have 3x minus 10y equals 14. So 3x minus 10y equal 14. And now I'm going to plug in y equal 1 for y. So 3x minus 10 times 1 equals 14. That 1 comes from that y that we solved for. So this is 3x minus 10 equal 14. Add 10 to both sides. 3x will now equal 24. Divide by 3. And x equals 8. So my final answer is going to be x comma y. So I'm going to get 8 comma 1. That is my ordered pair. Okay. So for 4, I have 4x plus 2y equals 6 and negative 2x plus 2y equal 18. So my x's are over x's, y's are over y's, number over number. So we're good there. Now I need to choose which variable to eliminate. I can eliminate x's and I can also eliminate y's, okay? Whichever one's easier. I think it's going to be easier to eliminate the y's. So that's the one I'm going to choose to eliminate because I have a 2 and a 2. So all I need to do is make one of them negative. So again, to make one of them negative, I'm going to choose the bottom one. Multiply everything by negative 1. All 3 terms. So my top one, you should get 4x plus 2y equals 6 because nothing changed. And your bottom one should now be 2x minus 2y equal negative 18. And now we add. So this is going to give me 6x. My y's cancel. And this is going to give me negative 12. Divide by 6. And I see that x equals negative 2. Okay. Now I need to plug it in and solve for y. Okay, so I just choose one of my originals, whichever one you think will be easier. I'm going to work with the top one, so 4x plus 2y equals 6. 4x plus 2y equals 6. And I'm going to plug in x to my equation. So 4 times negative 2 is a negative 8 plus 2y equals 6. Add 8. So I have 2y equaling 12. I don't know how I got 12 on that. I'm sorry. It's 14. 6 plus 8 is 14. My bad. 2 divided by 2, so y equals 7. So my final answer, x comma y, negative 2 comma 7. That is your ordered pair. Okay. I want you guys to do 5 on your own. If you guys look here, you can see that you have a positive 4x and a negative 4x. So really, you already have them set up. So all you should have to do is go ahead and add straight down and solve, okay? Once you guys do that though, you guys can pause it right now and then come back and check your work. So you guys should get -1, 1 for your answer. Okay, and that is it. Okay, we're gonna be doing elimination also in our next set of notes as well, so we'll be working with them again. You guys do have a Kahoot that goes with this, so make sure you guys get that done. That's gonna be graded for accuracy. If you have any questions, please email. We are here to help. Bye, miss you guys.